Hello, Naysha.
Hello. You see, we are progressing slowly in this.
Slowly, slowly. Beautiful. We're waiting for about like 2 minutes more before this is live.
Yeah.
I mean, we are live, but we'll just wait for other people to join. So we both have a sunny bathing weather. I don't know how it is in Peru, but in Sweden it's beautiful.
Yes, I hear about it. And now I'm in Peru. It's raining here, but I have some lights, so I need to turn on one. Yeah, I think this is better. Yeah,
Beautiful.
better right now.
Amazing. So this is a great test for us. I mean, it's our first Facebook live talk, and we've had some hiccups now in the morning, or just trying at least. So it's just a learning curve for us to go in. So I hope that people have patience and at least find us in this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I would like to welcome you all to this kind of live conversation that we're having. And today I have this great honor to have sit down with you, Naisha, who is a highly respected shaman from the Peruvian Amazon. And you will guide us deeper into this kind of unique world of the shamanistic detox retreat, and that we're hosting here at Beyond Bucka, the 1st to the 5th of July. And maybe for many of you, it's the first time that you hear about master plans like Bobinsana, or what it actually means to go through a retreat like this. So we'll explore what happens during the retreat, and what it's for, and how you to prepare, and what kind of healing and transformation that can take place. And so I just want to say, feel free to stay with us, listen with an open heart, and if questions arise, just write them in the comments below. And also want to take the opportunity to say that if you want more information about the retreat, it's on innerjourney.org, or actually on this Facebook event that you can see the links that goes to this. There's all the programs and kind of information that you need, or reach out to any one of us. Yeah, I think that's it. Do you want to add anything to that, Naisha, before we jump into the...
Well, I am very happy because this is part of the mission of spreading consciousness. So this is a program that came in a like a spiritual connection with the plants and with God. So I'm very happy to share it, because I know that it's going to deliver a lot of healing and more, but we are going to speak.
We're going to speak a lot. So I would like to just start by asking you, like, for someone that has never experienced a shamanic detox retreat, how could you personally describe what these days are really for?
Well, one word that came this morning when I was starting to meditate about this talk today was about balance. Is to recover balance, is to recover consciousness, to become conscious about very important things that we daily ignore in life, because we are constantly pulled out to get disconnected through the phones, through just the daily life of having an 8 hour job, every day, and also other responsibility. Maybe there is family involved, or yes, managing so many maybe businesses at the same time. It can be a
Mm.
lot, and plus that that disconnection with one self, emotional world, mental state, there is at the moment in Sweden 1 million people being medicated with antidepressants. And Sweden is like a very small population of 10 million people around. So 1 million is a big number. And really, we need to ask ourselves this question, like what's happening? And when we enter in the core of this understanding is about balance. And there is a very big wave of awakening, of reconnecting with the spiritual aspects of ourselves, our existence. And all of these processes only can take place when we disconnect, when we put time off. So this retreat is an opportunity to bring us to that space, to that time where we don't get interrupted by the phones, where we can put the intention, and also as a group, you know, when several people gathers together for an important intention, it also makes it more powerful for everybody. Like the commitment to change, to transform, to bring light, to bring consciousness, to like connection with our bodies, for example. That's why we are going to detox. A lot of interesting process comes from stopping ingesting, you know, food, and also certain elements that are as well, you know, distracting us from uh, emotions. It's a lot that I can tell you more. Should I
Yeah, no, no,
continue?
for sure. No, no, I think that's a great start. Thank you. I mean, I hear you. It's that we as a society, if you look at Sweden, we are very much like on a brink of a paradigm shift, of a change, where we have been taking our society to the utmost delivery, where we are more like robots in a certain sense, but we're so productive and efficient and so on. But there's also another story to it, that is that we are, you know, how do we feel? And what and how we kind of, there's a lot of loneliness, and there's a lot of meaninglessness, and there's a lot of things that people right now are redefining as themselves. How is it to be human? How is it to
Mm.
be really human? And the values that comes with that. So it's also a potential to take a next step, a next leap in human evolution, in a certain sense. And it's a next step. It's not, nothing is right or wrong. It's more about what is the next step for us as a collective and as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very long topic.
Yeah, but
I
it
would
begins
like,
somewhere, no?
yeah, true, true. But I would like to just ask you about, I mean, this retreat specifically, we'll be working with Bobinsana.
Mm-hmm.
Could you share us like why you've chosen this particular plant and how it differs from other more well-known plants, medicines like ayahuasca and psychedelics or mushrooms or a lot of other ones? What is Bobinsana?
Bobinsana is the plan of love, the teacher of unconditional love. And I was communicating with the spirit a few days ago in a meditation in Sweden. And the spirit told me, like, when we develop consciousness, the next step is love. You know, so consciousness cannot come without love. And
Mm.
yeah, all the sacred plants that has been already doing a lot of work the last year, like ayahuasca, like San Pedro, like mushrooms, and many, many, many others, iboga, you know. Now they have planted the seeds of consciousness. And what is the next is that people start to reconnect with the teachings of love. And that is, again, to reconnecting with our emotional world, you know. Europe, and I think many countries that are uh, becoming more developed are losing touch with the emotional part of ourselves. We
Mm.
are losing touch with this part. So this plan is guiding us back, because when we can take conscious decisions that are guided with love, we will always take the best decisions ever. And this is important, I mean, for all the aspects in life, all the things that we are creating. If we start to create them with love, then we can create a very beautiful, like, society, families, you know. So it's a very important step also, like you say, in human consciousness. It's a very important step of like becoming conscious of my emotions. Like we become conscious we are spiritual beings. Now we need to become conscious that we have a heart and we feel, and how can we navigate as a spirit, you know, as a consciousness, how can we navigate through these emotions here in these
Mm.
bodies, you know, and also how much we understand of energies, because the spiritual world, the shamanic world, is all about energies and all the different aspects of it, how we move it, how we transform them, how we create it, how we yeah, make
Mm.
it stronger.
Beautiful. I mean, during our talks, you have referred to it as the healer of the heart.
Yes.
What does that mean in practice? I mean, you've touched it a little bit now, but could you explore that a little bit more? What does it mean in practice, and how can it affect us emotionally?
It helps us to become conscious of certain emotions that we carry in our hearts, but in a very soft way. It's like, for example, with other kind of plant medicine, like that are more visual, we will be able to see maybe um, the emotions that we carry. But
Mm.
with this plant, it's like it's very subtly and softly presented to us, and it's ourselves having these realizations without being pushed or feeling pushed for it. It's physically, I have experienced, because I have done it a couple of times, inner peace, inner connection with my heart, and opening to share like about my emotions, and at the same time an energy that is holding that space where I can feel safe, because when the heart is open, when we are in connection with this love, then it's safe to share. And when we share, we open also as well another step for healing. When we are letting go certain things and transforming energies too. And you know, like you know that you have healed when you can share certain things that in the past makes you cry or makes you angry. And when those emotions aren't there anymore, then you know, like, oh, now it's really passed of your part and it's healed.
Mm. Thank you. That resonates a lot with me when you say that. A lot. But I would like to move into something because, I mean, obviously, just to make that clear, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Bobinsana is not a psychedelic
No.
master plant. Just to make that clear for people that doesn't know that. So it's not moving in that direction at all.
No.
And but
Can I say
in
one
any,
thing
yes, sure.
that is coming? Yes, it's not, doesn't have that kind of like capacity to show visions like, you know, ayahuasca and these other plants with psychedelic substances. Um, because uh, love is powerful enough to show us things. And it is when we are not with love, when we need to look for tools that will help us to recognize that, to
Mm,
become conscious. And this plant with Bobinsana, uh, yeah, it makes us see the reality as well of what we are creating. But that's why also it's so important the times when we just are going to take this plan. That's why we are disconnecting from everything, because that's how we uh, see the process, see the magic of the plant, see what that is bringing to us. Is this more?
beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's I mean, we have a lot of retreats, that is basically using other tools that are just conscious tools, basically that we all have, that is
Mhm.
like latent inside of us. And I mean, the master plans can teach us so much, and there's also so much that we can do by healing, by learning from the tools we already have in our system. basically, just more connecting into it.
Yes.
And actually, I mean, one of the biggest paradoxes of inner development is that it's not so much, we don't really need to learn so much more. That's what my experience is, more about trying to take away that is lying in the way for what we already know. So it's more about remembering rather than adding things. It's more we already know. So it's all the filters and all the programs and everything that we have created around us that we need to work with to be connecting into the source, to the core. So I'm really grateful that we will be doing this particular retreat. But I would like to jump into, like, is this retreat really suitable for everyone? Like, are there
Uh,
certain people, situations where you would not recommend joining?
yes, there will be some special cases, like for example, maybe people that has problems with gastritis. You know
Mhm.
what is that?
No, not really. What was gas?
Gastritis.
No,
It's a
not
problem
personally.
with the stomach that
Ah, yeah.
it
Okay.
burns.
Hmm.
It, and sometimes it can. Some people can have like small wounds. So fasting will be need to check for every
Mm.
like person. But this will be one, and then taking antidepressants or pills for sleep. But also this needs to be checked. Like we will check it on private. This
Yeah. So you, with everyone that is joining, you're actually having a both medical and an energetical um, kind of interview, right?
yes,
Oh, good. So these things will be checked in advance, so it can ensure that every individual that is coming is really suitable for it.
yes, and also we will
Okay.
discuss the intentions and guiding more into like if this is something that will benefit them and how.
Mm, that's great. That's perfect because I would like to move into something that how do people, how can someone prepare themselves for this, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, you know, if they, before coming to a retreat like this, what would be your answer to that?
Now we are like 2 weeks coming to the time of the retreat. So it will be cutting the things that are more toxic for for our bodies, like
Mm,
sugar, refined sugars. I would like stop eating outside, for example, like try to cook my own food and try to make it as vegetarian as possible. So the transition, with the from eating to not eating is not so strong because it can feel sometimes like very challenging not to eat, but it also has to do a lot with awareness, and
mm,
intentions and consciousness again.
mm.
But that's why we are all there supporting each other during this process.
And as you said before, eating is not just the actual food. Is really what we use food for, and how
Yes.
we stop things with emotions and so on. So how can you prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually then? I mean, that physically is one thing, but what would you say emotionally and spiritually? How do you prepare
Emotionally and
yourself
spiritually.
for something?
Yes, I usually recommend the best spiritual practice for me is praying. And that's like putting an intention or requesting something, for uh, achieve that during the retreat. Like, for example, this retreat can help us to process a lot of emotions connected with grief. Like if we
Mm,
lost people, in our lives with the breakups, divorces, when you are going through a transition and you don't know what is happening in your life. And it's about like speaking out maybe emotions when you want to make a closure of your past life and start a
mm,
new time. That will be one reason to come, and
mm,
to put in our intentions that we want to expand our hearts, that So that pain, whatever we carry in our hearts, if it's emotional or emotional things that we know that we need to work as well, but that we have it on the back of our minds, just to put the intentions of, I am ready to let go, like all my past. I am ready to let go all the negative emotions that I have about myself, about life that I have created consciously or unconsciously. And yeah, so many things that we can ask, like it is also retreat helps to people to reconnect with the creative part. So like somebody is coming because you need to create the new, I don't know, play for or a movie, or you want to write a book, or you're a chef that is looking for like inspiration for recipes. So all of these parts, it works so much connected with the heart, because the heart is creation. Yes, if you're a singer, like for everything, then you put your intention that you want to receive this, you want to open your heart to receive creativity. So all kinds of intentions really are valid, for I would say, for healing the heart and to prepare.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I take in a lot of intentions and also prayer, that,
Prayer.
and also, yeah, prayer, and also like really taking, reducing the amount of meat and maybe going vegetarian, and
Yes,
then,
vegetarian.
slowly but slowly kind of adopting your body to this change and so on. So it has a lot of other elements to it.
And one thing that maybe people will not like is coffee. We need to cut it.
Good that you mentioned that. I was hoping to kind of hold that for a little while more, but it's good that you take it up already. Yeah. And I think
So,
that, all the retreats we've had, it's like the cutting the coffee, and what the coffee really is doing. It's not really about saying that coffee is right or good or bad. It's not that. It's more about seeing, what does it stand for,
mm-hmm.
and the frequency of that. What does that kind of put in between you and source, and you and being fully connected and conscious? So it's not like we are on a punishment
Yeah,
retreat here. It's actually just really trying to support each individual to as much reconnect and remembering to their source. And so I think that, so we will be lovingly taking away those things, the distractions, the various things, so to support the.
yeah, and I have seen like for very sensitive people that coffee is not very good because it really makes you be out of your uh, inner core,
Mm,
and then become drained or burn out. This retreat is also good for people that wants to restart their energy system.
mm,
Like if you are feeling that you are having a burnout, this is also very good
mm.
opportunity.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, could you say what typically happens with the body and mind when you fast in this way? I mean, especially when you combine it with Bobinsana.
It's a
Could you
very
say something about that?
yes, it's very because I have done it a couple of times, So there are different stages depending of the length.
Hmm.
Like for me, the hardest are when I say like I will do 1 day, but at the same time, it's very hard when I say 3 days. And I think it has to do a lot with commitment and also with like physically like training yourself, to direct like your focus to other kind of things like is looking inside, for example, uh, because then it is like we redirect what our bodies are craving for, if there is a craving, or maybe covering up emotionally, like, and we give ourselves that opportunity to feel, like what part of us is feeling, for example, that is having difficulties and what kind. because it's not always about hungerness, you know. Some people become very emotional too. Like a lot of
Yeah.
anger can come as well,
Mm,
you know, that and that's other kind of process. And that's why I say so personal, uh, what is going to happen to everybody, because some people may feel very hungry, some people will not, some people will feel more emotional, some not, uh, some people will just feel great the whole time.
mm,
And yeah, it has to do with what we are bringing to detox, you
mm,
know. That will be physically, mentally, the thoughts that are going to come during the days when we are not talking, when we are not entering in the phones. It will be very interesting to observe what is our thoughts pattern, you know, how can we
mm.
change them.
Beautiful. I mean, it is a very loving way as we're talking about it, but it's also very intense. It can be very intense for a lot of people, and therefore it's so important to have a very experienced team around and facilitating, so I can hold space for this, both for them and collectively. We've had a lot of silent retreats or vipassana
Mm-hmm.
retreats at Beyond Bucka before. And I would love to hear about how you feel about, because we're going to be in silence during these days as well, except from when we are in the group room and doing
Yes.
things together, but we will be in silence and to again reconnect deeper. But could you talk a little about that importantness of stillness and even boredom during this retreat? And yeah, can you explain a bit about what these quiet moments, why
Yes.
it's why it's such an important part of this journey?
Yes, it is very important in different levels too, because like part of what we are doing is a ancestral practice, shamanic practice that people in Amazon has been done for like hundreds of years. This is a very important way how we heal, you know, from any kind of problems. The difference is that maybe some problems takes longer time. So this is an introduction where it's more of awareness, self-awareness, and a compromise to continue that journey of keep improving. There are going to be things that we are going to be able to heal, and others to recognize during during these days. Can you redirect me to the question again, please?
No, it was the question is like why it's so important with the stillness and or the silence
Yes.
and regard and also even boredom when it comes up. You know, what do we do with that?
Yes, exactly. And I told you that this has different aspects. Yes, and the reason is as well. For example, when we are feeling stuck in our processes, or when we are burned out, is because we have an accumulation of energies, thoughts, you know, information, and it's very important then to not ingest in any way or form, you know, any of those things. So that's why like it's important like to be in our own space, because we are going to be releasing things,
Mm,
and it's important to have that like solitude. And in the program there is going to be tools that are going to help this energy to be moved, but for this to happen then we really need to avoid distractions and to let just the beautiful process to unfold. It is more fun when we are really like looking and being part of it, than trying just to wait until 3 days are going to pass. You know what I mean? And try to
yeah,
distract with
yeah,
other kind of things.
yeah.
But then again, we are going to support because we know that it's difficult in the beginning, you know, to spend that much time alone. That's why we have activities that will help people to as well to focus, and yeah, different activities, meditations,
Mm.
shamanic drums, journeys, singing mantras.
Beautiful. So I'm personally very interested in normally a dieta or a detox is much longer, right?
Yes.
Is about is can be 10 days or 30 days or
Yes.
long. So when we now are doing 5 days, or 4 days and 5 days, 4 nights and 5 days, what what is the difference between doing that and a 10 day or? 30-day or things like
Uh,
this? Will in terms of a process that we start.
it's not a big of a difference because we are going to do fasting, and this is like the hardest and also the fastest way because it's like a big how to say cutting off. It's a big like putting off and resetting, like taking all kind of things, and at the same time, because of that force, it also shows you the same force. It also shows you and allows you. When we still have food in the Amazon, for example, in longer programs, we share about this information. Like you can do the water fasting. You can eat once a day, so twice a day. But I see like how people that eats food for their process to start happening, it takes until day 10 because they are still having food. But when you start with the cutting out, then things really
Yeah.
boil faster inside. So it is, that's why that's the reason that it's giving you also the best of the experience, even when you cannot
Mm,
come to the Amazon to explore. And this is
mm,
also very safe plant to explore, Bobinsana, and it's also one of the most popular teachers when a person start to do like diet or shamanic training in Peru, is to open the heart, is to reconnect with the emotions.
mm. So if I'm hearing you right, this is a high-speed therapy.
Yes,
This can be called a high-speed therapy because we are intensifying it with the taking away all these distractions and all this food, etc. All the elements that can speed up the process that normally takes 10 or longer days. Is that how you would conclude it, or?
yes, and this is the most traditional way to connect with the master plants in our Amazon tradition in Peru.
Mm,
This is the best way.
beautiful. Thank you. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, the environment that how the importance of environment where you are, because you're normally doing it in Peru, you're all around the world, having retreats and ceremonies and so on. And so can you tell me about this retreat we will have at Beyond Bucka
Mm-hmm.
in Sweden? So how important is a center, a retreat, or a place that is designed for inner work? How does that support the experience, or support the inner growth or the inner work that we do? Can you say something about that? How outer environment supports inner?
Yes. It is very important, but then again depends of the kind of processes. Like we are talking here about healing. But if somebody will want to learn to be a shaman, then the Amazon will be the best. But in terms of healing,
Yeah.
uh, and when we are healing with plants, the space, the energy, it's very important. And I wouldn't come like to your space if I wouldn't have experienced the energy before. So I've been there a couple of times visiting you there, and yes, the energy of the area, it's very powerful. It's also very all in a way, and I think it's very important the information that this area is carrying, for every person that is coming to bring it. It's like I feel a lot of uh, the spirits in the forest that are present, that are good, that are positive, and also the space is uh, isolated enough from like distractions where you can really connect with nature. Like in every
Mhm.
space there is an element of nature, the gardens and the views. Yeah, it's good place to disconnect from the phones and really to reconnect and to look into the beautiness and all the things that we have to be grateful to during this
Mhm.
process.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. So you were going into it a bit, that there's going to be quite some activities around these days to support the inner process that you go through. It's not just a detox or taking away food or taking away coffee, and it's also bringing other aspects in to support
Yes.
this journey. And one of them is a very powerful one that we've been working with together before, Naisha, which is Kambo.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So, and we've said that this is an optional, which it is. It's an option that you can choose. But anyway, I would like to talk a little bit uh, about Kambo and how
Yes.
that can be supported because we will be offering that there. Um, for someone that has never heard about Kambo, could you briefly explain what Kambo is and how it complements the work of Bobinsana?
Well, Kambo is a poison from a frog, and it helps to detox. And it also works in different aspects, but the most popular is yes the detox. It have a purgative effect after applying certain number of dots on the skin. And the process is simple. It can look painful, but it's not. It's a small burn on the skin. There is like the first layer is like a, and then everything is like made with clean tools and also new tools. And then the venom is applied in small dosages, and it depends again of the intention. If people wants to like clean the bodies to have a purgative effect, then it's a little bit more that is applied. And if people wants to have more of a healing experience from the emotional aspect, I recommend like small short dosages and like slowly, until the person wants to experience. And it helps a lot to people that feel disconnected from their hearts to
Mm.
become more vulnerable. And sometimes people can cry, and we have the setup as well, like with the music to support those kind of processes.
Mm.
um, it helps to clean the body more and maybe to soften up certain blockages so we can have a better connection with the spirit of the plant during
Mm.
these days. Because Bobinsana is as well a master plant, and not all the plants in the Amazon are master plants because they have a little bit more, we can say, consciousness or a higher vibration. That's why you can feel certain benefits from it, even when they don't have this like psychedelic effects, for example.
Mm. Would you say that that is what is the major difference between some the master plants and just plants, basically? Is it the frequency that you spoke about, the higher frequency of it, or what else defines a master plant?
Is the capacity of delivering teachings to the person that is connecting with it.
Mm.
And there is different ways to connect, and one is like this, the most strong and the best way is through the diet, through the shamanic detox, that in the tradition is called as a diet with master plants.
Mm.
And um, yeah.
But this is again an optional work that is there. Um, y- and
Ah, with the camera, you mean? Yes.
Kambo, yeah, for sure. But there will also be other optional work that can be treatments, etc., that we will have during these days, which is more deep intuitive massage and also more like supporting in terms of what do we call Hannes work again? Alignment, right? It's alignment.
Yes, because when the body starts to release emotions or start to move energy, and some people they don't know yet how to do it fully, they need
Mm.
help. So the energy sometimes can get stuck on the shoulders, on the head, and can create like a pains. So Hannah is an expert moving all of these energies out, release,
Indeed.
because there are many different ways.
Exactly. And we also have Sandra that will be. Do you want to say something about that
Yes,
also?
Sandra is going to offer very interesting things, actually, meditations, and that will also again help us to um, redefine, I think, ways of thinking and meditations to connect with certain elements of ourselves.
Mm.
And yes, we also have a mantras, right? We have singing mantras with Constantine. So we have a very beautiful
Yes,
team. And also you, Ludwig, you're going to be there.
exactly.
What are you going to
I'll
be
be,
sharing with us?
I will be, I mean, there's a lot of things that we still don't know that will be intuitively, magically happening over there at the time. But I will also support with my hands and with intuitive massage and really for people to really relax and reconnect with their bodies, both
Oh,
physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. And it's all it's connected together. So there will be a lot of options for that, but it's also again an optional thing. Then you do not need to choose that if not. But I would like to move into something else. It's more about many might actually wonder, like, how can we ensure that the participant feels safe
mm-hmm.
and supported during this such a deep and vulnerable process? How can we ensure their security once they are there?
We have a very beautiful and big team holding the space. Also, with the experience of holding retreats in more than 23 countries, and we have experience working with very big groups until 30 people. And yes, the priority is always to check how is everybody doing, but it's also a very intuitive process where we connect to our participants very deeply to like feel how everything is going, in their
Mm,
processes. And yeah, I mean, in my as a shaman, I put a lot of attention into the energies, even if people is telling me that they are fine. And we have like ways to help people to feel better even when they don't want to open up or to speak,
mm,
and trust the process too, and the work of the medicine, but yeah, so it's keeping an eye on everybody's like energy, basically, that everybody is really matching, what they are sharing during this experience. And the most important, I think, is letting people be, in their process and in their space, respecting a lot what people wants to share, wants to do. So that's why a lot of the things are not, nothing is like mandatory. Everything is about how you feel. If you feel like it will support your work, maybe you feel you should be in silence the whole time and just have maybe 1-2 talks a day. I mean, this is something very personal, and everybody will feel how it is. Nothing is a must. It's just there to help to do certain processes that maybe by ourselves we cannot do. And since my person has gone through a lot of these processes alone in the jungle without all of these tools, I know that the importance of in certain moments in our healing that we need the help of other kind of um, yeah ways of healing that needs help from other people, like meditation, for example, just to sit all together to bring connection. It's more powerful when you do it in a group. And yeah, just and like an example, like singing, for example, as well, like opening your voice in a group. I need to open my door, 1 second.
In the meanwhile, I'm not seeing any comments or anything, but that's maybe not me seeing, but you can very easily fill in questions.
Hambre, dice.
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, we're beautiful. Okay, so I would like to move into a place. I mean, there's a lot of deep. This is a deep healing work, and obviously there might be a lot of things that will come up during these days, and that we can support and heal during these days as well. But there also might be a lot of things when you go away from a retreat like this, when you come home, that it can be quite emotional and it can be a lot to integrate. So, would you like to say something about the integration, the life after the retreat
Yes,
already
we
now?
are we are available to help with integration. Anytime people will have connection, like possibility to connect with us and to tell us how they're doing. One of our team members is also a professional coach, and we have in the network as well. Like it depends of the process again, Ludwig. If
Mm.
it's something that
But
I'm able to guide, I will do it. And if not, direct with the professional that I feel will give the best help.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm thinking more is like, is there any tip that you can say already now for people that will book that like what should they prepare for when they get back? Should they have some days more calmer when they come home, or how could they integrate processes like this in the best possible way?
Yeah, it's always good not to jump straight into the life that you just came off.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it will be good to take 2 more days, just to slowly integrate and feel again, and just, to go slowly, like feeling again, because you become more sensitive. There's an
Mm,
invitation as well to observe, with more in a more conscious way, like all the environments that you have in your life during the day, and the relationships, and all the energies involved. And
mm,
yeah, then it's about, I think, planification, planning like what kind of life I want to have. And yeah, maybe disconnecting, letting go, cutting off things that are no longer good for us, including relationships. And
mm.
it goes again, step by step in this process. And everybody's in such a different level of it.
Yeah. But normally, we have quite some many retreats out of Beyond Bucka,
Hmm.
that you can see under innerjourneys.org as well. Um, these, very often I hear we say that please don't make any drastic changes once you come home after a very deep retreat. Wait, so you don't go into reactions, but rather integrate what you have done and then find a way to respond rather to
Hmm.
this integration rather than going into action. Um, do you want to say something about that? I think you mentioned a little bit about it, but it's something I hear from a lot of therapists that are going deep, doing deep transformational journeys.
Yeah, I understood that. But what part? Like when they need to take like important decisions.
Yes?
When they need to take like important decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, during this kind of experiences there will be always like revelation that comes.
Mm,
Is that uh, once will take more time to prepare for, like make a plan to organize. Others will be more easy, like just for example, realizing that, oh, maybe sugar is not good for me.
mm,
That first step, or like having my phone 24, is not a good thing, or sleeping
mm.
next to my phone is not a good thing, or drinking coffee. Like there are so many different kind of uh,
Decisions.
yeah,
Yeah.
decisions, and like things to integrate, because that also like realizing something and then put it in action, and you seeing that has a positive impact. That is the integration.
Mm,
But yes, when we just realize things and when we don't align with it and start to transform our lives a little bit, it can be slowly, it can be drastical, however is the easiest. But then real change comes.
mm,
If there is not changes in the environments that we are coming from, also it's difficult to sustain what we are healing.
mm. Thank you. Naisha, I have been trying to put questions now like a little bit like I have been, that I would be a participant basically. And I hope that all of you that listen to this got something. But is there any questions that have been, I don't see anything on here on technically
Yeah, I can
on
see.
there, but have you got
It's
any comments or questions that you would like to answer from people?
Yes. It says how does one best prepare for such a detox, and
Mm.
will one require to alter their diet in preparation? I guess we were talking about this early. Uh, you prepare, like, there are different ways. It's physically to cut out the things that you know that are already not good for your body, like for example refined foods like sugar and I don't know, sodas. We also spoke about coffee, and we suggested that the best will be to go vegetarian and to cook your own food, like not to go to eat even outside. And yeah, of course, we can reduce salt to the just minimum. Start eating maybe more fruits, more vegetables, things that are easy to digest, so we can like feel um, lighter and lighter, and it's not a big transition from not eating to, well, sorry, from eating to not eating.
Yeah. And
Yes.
what would you say, like, I understand that that's optional, that's an absolute optional way, but what if you come there and you haven't done any kind of preparations? Is that okay as well? That to go into this?
Yeah, you
Just
can do
to
it too, but it's going to be just harder with the hungerness, maybe.
a little bit more rough ride.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
It's
good. It's
again
just to
very
make, just to
individual,
be, yeah, but it's also to be clear that it's about it's not a mandatory way, but it's an optional way for you to get the utmost of these days.
Yeah, it
Um,
helps.
it helps. Yeah.
It helps. It helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you got any more questions from listeners?
Yes.
Anything that
Talking of integration, will abstaining from certain foods and drinks be required? Yeah, alcohol, for example, is no alcohol. Uh,
after or as an integration or before?
Before
What
and
was
after.
mhm.
With all the master plans, always is pork, chili for after, alcohol, and then sex.
Oh, that's an interesting topic. So how long does people want to have to stay away from these things,
Um,
would you say?
yeah, maybe 7 more days. It's not so long.
Se 7 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for some people that might
Everybody,
be a
how
very
long?
big thing.
But the longest, the best.
Yes.
But
Okay.
that's again a commitment. I will explain why. It has to do with making like the energy, uh, like giving the energy space to make itself stronger in you, like to make roots. So the longer, of course, the best. But we do what we can.
Sure.
Minimum
Thank
seven
you.
days.
Minimum 7 days.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Good plan. Anyway, any more questions? Did you see?
No, I don't see more
I mean,
questions.
feel free, everyone, that if you do have something coming up right now, just put it in the chat.
There. No, there is not more questions. What I see.
Okay. Hmm.
And we are going to download this video and upload it in YouTube and share it as well, so you can watch
Beautiful.
it again.
Okay, great. That's a beautiful thing. So I would like to take this opportunity to, like, for anyone who's listening right now, who feels curious, but maybe also a bit unsure. What would you like to tell them, actually?
About this joining us.
Yeah, about this retreat, and what would you like to tell them right now if they feel a bit unsure or they feel a bit nervous, maybe even, and or like, am I really up for this? Yeah, but if there's a bit insecurities around this, what would you like to tell them?
I think this is a lot about honesty. If we are ready to transform and ready to realize maybe some certain aspects of ourselves, and it's an opportunity not to be alone doing important healing things that we need to be supported. Many times when we go through so many different situations in life, we can feel alone, abandoned, and that there is not a like safe container where to do certain processes. So this is the space that is kind of given. Yes, like we ask for these kind of spaces, and it's materializing here, like just calling us. So it's feel a call as well, you know, like don't let your thoughts to be put in the middle of this, but rather feel your heart, feel your
Mm.
like life, you know, check how it is. Are you ready to take that deeper look and understanding of what you are carrying inside? And at the same time, you know, not to do it alone, that you can receive guidance, that there is
Sorry, I think I lost your sound, Naisha, to be honest. Or I don't know if it's only me, but I don't
yeah.
hear you anymore. Ah, now
Yeah,
you're
no,
there.
yeah, it was a
Beautiful.
call enter and then it disconnect everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, okay. I was just sharing that. Yeah, this is also a personal call. You know, like where we feel called
Yeah.
to do this kind of work. If we are ready to take a step to go like deeper and also without excuses. You know, many people is looking also to heal like without, for example, going to do ayahuasca or San Pedro.
Mm.
And yeah, it's still like the big responsibility of healing with anything is ourselves. It's ourselves. So if we are ready really to change, to transform, and if we are feeling the call, then feel welcome to come to join us. And yeah, that we can grow together. Every time we do this, we're also learning. Like that's the beautiness of this. That is teachers really, I mean, only a teacher can continue teaching you. You know, yeah, because a teacher is a teacher for life. So all these
Mm.
plant teachers are always teaching us something new. Yes.
No, thank you very much for that. I would that's the beautiful way of ending this. It's like to really be in a mode of receiving teaching, basically, from the plants, from the from you, from the team, from the universe, and basically really creating a path that is not separated from these
Hmm.
worlds. Um, Beautiful. So before we close down this talk, is there anything else you want to say that you want to share? From,
I will be maybe coming sometimes here to share a little bit more.
mm,
If like the spirits ask me, you know, Bobinsana, then I will come and share. But in
that's
general,
beautiful.
it's beautiful that this
Y-
time.
So I hear that you trust the process and you let the plants also teach you what to do. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm hearing?
Yes.
Beautiful. As a navigation. Thank you very much, Naisha, for this talk. And I can just personally say that I'm so much looking forward to this retreat and to be part of the team. And we've been doing a lot of work at Beyond Bucka for many, many years now. And yeah, it's a long time ago that I really, really, really longed for this retreat. It's like a retreat that we've been talking about for a very long time, you and me, that we are at last doing. So now I don't hear you anymore, Nash.
It's fine. I was calling my brother for the kids.
Okay.
But I'm
So
here.
again, thank you. Now we don't hear you anymore.
Yeah, it's fine.
Now you're back. Beautiful. So you're both kids. You're in Peru right now.
Yes, I'm with both of them. Yes, they're here. Hey, Luciana, really?
Hola.
Yeah. So time to mama to go. Very, very
Time
nice
to
and
go.
lovely to be here. And thank you for listening today. And thank you for your time, Ludvig, too. And
Yes.
everybody else being here.
Thank you, Naisha. Talk soon.
Take care.
Here and live.